Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Well, now Saturday. Welcome back to 10 Minutes with the Goddess. I am your host, the Taurus Goddess, and welcome to my show, the Health and Abundance Show, where here we talk about different topics that help change you, your lifestyle, and your way of life. So, just as a reminder, I am the Taurus Goddess. You can check me out and subscribe to my channels. I'm on TikTok, The Health and Abundance Show, YouTube, The Health and Abundance Show, Spreaker, The Health and Abundance Show. My Cash App is hashtag The Taurus Goddess. And Gmail, if you'd like to email me, shout out your company or business at the Health and Abundance Show 82 at gmail.com. All right, so about this being my new channel, I have been posting on my TikTok, and I am going to be doing a new subscriber giveaway where I'll be giving away 50 coffee mugs at the end of August for my YouTube subscribers for the first 50. And a special thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please make sure you like and share and turn on your notifications. And for the first 10 Cash App donations over 10, will get a chance to become a mod on my channel. And I never know when I may go live, so make sure your notifications are on. All right, so let's get ready to start the show. So, my herb of the day is cinnamon. The reason why I chose cinnamon is because it brings prosperity. But besides prosperity, is a common household spice that everyone has in their home. But it also has a lot of spiritual value. Cinnamon represents protection, prosperity, healing, spiritual wellness, healing of the soul, purification, and it also can bring you greater opportunities. When cinnamon is released to the atmosphere, prosperity will come. So most of the time when I use cinnamon in my home, it's after the end of the month. We clean up and we clean down and we sage down the house, and you can go to your front door and you can blow cinnamon in through the front door. And when you do that, you're asking for prosperity to come into your home on a spiritual level. Now, on a physical level, the intake of cinnamon, if you include it in your diet, your teas, your food, it can help with circulation and also tissue repair. It helps with your blood pressure, any type of inflammation you may have. It protects against the heart from catching any type of diseases, and it's also full of oxidants. So that is my herb of the day. Now, today we're going to do messages on love, health, career, just general messages from the universe to see what the universe has to say that may help somebody. The main thing when it comes down to your higher beings and your orishas and whoever you serve as your spiritual protector, just make sure that you honor them and give thanks and gratitude daily, whether you have what you're asking for or if you don't. Just be sure to give gratitude through it all. So one of the messages for from the universe, just in general, it says attaining peace. It says today I turn within to find the source of my experiences. There I find the peace that comes from seeking truth. I understand that the riches I discover within myself have a greater value than all the wealth of the outside world. Step by step, I continue my spiritual quest. Little by little, I free myself, rising ever higher and attaining true inner peace. And that goes back to what I just said. Give gratitude just for what you have in general. Yes, it may not be where you want to be or where you're going at the moment, but still give your gratitude, still keep your spirits high, and just know that it's on the way. So let's see what other messages from the universe that we may get. And by the way, no, I'm not a tarot card reader, and nor am I a psychic. I'm none of the above. I'm just a human being, just like you all. I don't come with titles or any of that. I'm just a regular, average, everyday person who's on a spiritual journey, just like a lot of us out here. Spirit says your time is coming. Everything is coming together for you, but you must meet the universe halfway. Hold only a bright and happy vision of yourself with successful outcomes, and don't allow your fears and insecurities to stand in your way. Which brings me to my topic of tonight. The topic is, who is in control of your energy? When we think about energy, energy is the intake of feelings or emotions based off your surroundings or your human interaction, which not knowingly the word in will always have an effect on your mental because it's something that you see, you process, and you take in, and you decipher whether or not you want it to be in your presence, a part of your presence, or out of your presence. Energy control how fast you can go from happy, sad, angry. It can cause not just a reaction for you, but the others around you as well. So, for example, you hanging out with your friends and everyone's laughing and joking and having a good time, and then somebody come in and their vibrations is low and they're angry and they mad and they upset, and before you know it, everybody else is in an uproar and nobody know why. Like, well, dang, we was just having a nice time. Like, what happened just that quick? It's called the energy. Y'all took the intake of someone else's energy at that time, and now it then spread it like cancer. So, can you control your energy? Are you a person that's strong enough that no matter what comes around you, it does not create interference or stop signs? Because interference is one of the biggest things that keeps us from getting to the goals that we are trying to reach. Once that interference step in, sometimes it's hard to break. Meaning you can have something that probably you should have spent on for 2 seconds, maybe 5 minutes at the most, but you've been on it all week. For example, you was waiting on something to come. It didn't come today. So now you on it. Then tomorrow, you still thinking about it and it didn't come. Even down to your job. You apply for that one position and you like, God, what's taking them so long to make this decision? You know, did they give somebody else the job? Boom, interference. Now you're automatically thinking that you're not qualified enough, you're not good enough. And now that spirals out of control. And then it's hard to get back grounded or centered to where you need to be. And before you know it, opportunities can pass you by. That's reality. So, who is in control of your energy? Can you control what you're feeling? Things that can help create interference in your energy is music. words, your surroundings, your family, your friends, your job, the news, relationships, spiritual leaders. All of these things can have effect on your energy. The main things are pretty much your family and your friends because they're the closest thing to you in your relationship. Music, on the other hand, can play a factor into it. You ever been in the car and you be jamming, listening to some music and it's high energy music, and then next thing you know, some come on and they want to pop this and pop that, and you like, whoa, wait a minute, no, I'm good. I ain't even on that right now. You know what is coming from? Do you have the power to turn the station, or do you just keep sitting there listening to it? Meanwhile, you left out the house in good spirit, got money on your mind, you ready to have a prosperous day, and before you know it, you angry, you being rude, and you done missed another blessing. That's just the reality of it. The things that we see and intake, all the way down to the news. I can't think of the last time I watched the news, maybe the other day, because somebody recommended it. But other than that, just waking up listening to the news, the first 30 minutes of listening to the news will make you pull your clothes off and stay in the house because it's nothing good that's being said. It's nothing satisfying in what's being said. Everything is who got shot over here or war over there, and then right after that is let's talk about the weather. And truth be told, with the floods and everything that's going, even that ain't even good. So, and let me just say this, because I did put spiritual leaders up there, and I'm only gonna say this because I've heard people say that they stop, following their spiritual beliefs because of the person in charge. Well, guess what, people? They are human, and I repeat, they are human beings just like you. Sometimes we put spiritual leaders on such a high platform when they're only there just to give you guidance. They're not there to be your savior. You are your savior, not them. I've seen people break down, fall out, be so angry with the spiritual leader. And I'm like, why are you so mad? I mean, their job is to give you a word. Now, what you do with those words or what you do with that guidance is all on you. And just know that everything that you see spiritually does not mean that it's towards you. Because at the end of the day, most of the time when you're dealing with spirituality, you're dealing with it in a group session. And I say that for people who attend church and different types of things like that. You can't go to church and because the spiritual leader say something, now all of a sudden I ain't going back over there no more. Why? How do you even know that what he said or she said was intended for you? That might not have been your message. That might have been the person next to you message. But just that fast, your energy intake that one line or that one situation, and now you done made it your whole everything. And they ain't never coming back, and they always talking about somebody. Stop. Because at the end of the day, nobody is flawless. We all got flaws. And sometimes in life, you got to step up and acknowledge that. Even in relationships, y'all done been together forever. And now you feel like they're not important anymore. You don't treat them the same way that you used to. Well, you're not supposed to because you're supposed to be growing. The main thing is nothing is supposed to stay stagnant and nothing is supposed to stay the same. But see, we get comfortable in the same. But is that comfortability really good? Like, how are you ever going to get to where you're going? Staying the same. At some point in time, you have to say, look, I'm ready to evolve. That's what comes down with your words, the things that you speak to yourself, the things you say about yourself. You can't look in the mirror and look at yourself one kind of way and then go out in the world and pretend that, oh, you love yourself oh so much. Because even though the words you are not saying, your energy is showing. You cannot change that factor of the matter. And then you become your stop sign. So let's talk about some ways to protect your energy. Be in the presence of things that are along your path. If you know you want a new house or a new car, you can't sit at the house and keep looking at it on Google. You got to get up and go and talk to people. Go be in the neighborhood that you want to be in. Get yourself, go to the dealership, sit in the car, take it for a test drive or something. Do something. Don't just keep sitting there dreaming and imagining about things you want to do. Get up and go. We'll spend half our life dreaming when we could have had. Know when to separate yourself from things that don't feel good. If you know gossiping ain't your thing, why you still hang around people that's doing it? I mean, that's a easy fix. That don't make you less their friend. It don't make you less anything. Because at the end of the day, you have to know who you are. If gossiping ain't for you, then what you sitting there listening to it for? And taking the he said, we said. And truth be told, a lot of us done got labeled. And a lot of people think they know you based off gossip. Truth of the matter is, you don't know nothing about nothing. Because the stuff that people say about you is their own interaction that they may have had with you. That don't mean that every interaction you gonna have, you gonna be that same person. And maybe just on that day, that interaction was based off some that they already heard from somebody else, and now they want to come and try their hand and probably got the same thing that them people got. So I never base my meetings or knowing people off what somebody told me. No, let me get to know you for myself. I'm grown. I can do that. I don't need no help with that. I don't need nobody to put down nobody or tell me nothing about nobody. Cause I'm gonna figure it out for myself. It's okay to let people go that don't fit in your journey as well. I know that's easier said than done. But sometimes if you look back over your life, just think about how people that came. You might have had people that you met along the way and they was around for a season and you was okay with them leaving. Keep everybody with that same energy because everybody's not going to evolve at the same time. So, I mean, sometimes you got to leave people behind. That don't mean that you care for them any less. They're just not going where you're going, and that's okay. That don't mean that you ain't got to pick up the phone and call them and say, "Hey, how you doing? You okay? You good? The kids good? Everybody great? Okay, cool. What you got going on? Just know that if your journey is to do something else and they're not along that path, then they can't go. And the one thing about healing and spirituality, a lot of this is loner activity because you have to address yourself. You have to acknowledge things that are going on with you, and you have to be willing to walk in your shadow and your light. Go to places that can open up your dreams and put yourself in that emotional state, meaning surround yourself with people that's doing what you're trying to do. If I want to be a manager, I'm not going to go and hang out with the employees because what can they tell me? If I'm trying to be in a managerial situation, I need to put myself around the right people at the right time. Learn, listen, see how things is moving, I was a manager for over 10 years. And trust me, that job accidentally fell in my lap. I was grateful for it. And a lot of it I had to learn on my own. But when I had the opportunity to be around people in higher situations or in business, period, I put myself there and I listened and I took in the things that they said. And that really helped me sustain myself for 10 years in that one position. I made the company a lot of money. Should have did it for myself though. I always have a positive attitude about things. Doubt does not bring things to you. This is one of my struggles, to be honest, y'all. Me, I'm a cut and dry person. Sometimes I gotta know what's going on, when it's going on, who's gonna be there, why they gonna be there. Sometimes that's just me. But I'm learning now that a lot of the time that doubt energy is nobody friend. And the most important thing again is be mindful with your words. Make sure that you're not bringing in things that you are not looking for. In other words, don't say nothing over your life that you don't want to become your reality. We live in a time now where you got these young men and women out here rapping about, you know, going on to glory early. And the reality is, it's really happening. And a lot of them ain't even about their life, but their persona, putting on that mask for the world, is getting them there faster than they know. And the whole thing about it all is they ain't scared to go. So they say it with feeling. They say it with energy. And then when the energy transpire, then the YouTube videos start flying about another one that's going on their way. Meanwhile, you got millions and thousands of people, children, singing the same words. Then you wondering why it's going on in your own neighborhood outside of the industry. It's a reason behind all of that, you know. So you gotta watch the words. And I know this generation Z, as we call it, I understand that y'all are a fearless group of young men and women, and that's a beautiful thing. But it wasn't meant to be used this way. So please, again, you know, watch your words, because they can get you somewhere where you like how, what, when, and why. And an unrested soul is not a great feeling. Well, that's it for my show for tonight. I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by with early morning. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Health and Abundance Show. Remember to check me out on TikTok. Until we speak again, ladies and gentlemen, be prosperous, be abundant, love one another, and stay safe.